Good morning. This presentation is about the fourth module of the course. Is about the country level action plan. In the module 3, we have discussed and presented the components of the guide, the 9 strategic pathways, and in this module, we will see how all the material presented before in the precedent module will be implemented at the country level. Just we recall that the IGF is 3 parts: overarching strategic framework, the why, the implementation guide, the what, and the country level action plan, how, when, and who. And the latest is what we are considering in this model. This also, we have seen this slide before, the link between the national data infrastructure and the strategic pathway. Just recall this. And the content of IGF is really to have a plan, a specific plan aligned with the national development strategies, priorities, and circumstances. Each country has specificity, each region has its specificity, and we can have guidelines, we can have guides, but all these things has to be adapted to the real context and condition in each country. The CAP, the country level action plan, contain 3 components. That will describe. Component 1 is to set up a structure for the project. The component 2 is to make studies for what exists, what we are planning. And component 3 is really the implementation of the plan and follow-up of the execution. The component 1, the project execution, deal with the initiation of the projects, the pre-need assessment, the project scoping and scheduling, and the output of this component is a project execution plan. This means that really before launching is really to organize the project not in the manner it has been dealing with before, just to focus on technology to prepare term of reference for tender, to acquire software, hardware, and to start building GIS or geoinformation systems. Not in this manner. It's really before to look, as it has been said within this framework, at the all component, and to start with putting in place a structure for the project to be implemented. The component 2 is about information gathering activities and analytical exercise. We need baseline data, what exists, what kind of institution and arrangement, what is the legal framework existing, to assess the existing components, take into account the strategic framework, and to arrive and document, providing assessment and analysis of the situation. Component 3 is about planning activity, is really provide the country level action plan. Component CAT is providing information, implementation guidance, and monitoring and evaluation, at least to have some indicator agreed on an indicator to evaluate the success or the failure of the project. This slide are just providing more details on what it has been said now. For the component 2, for example, assessment and analysis, for information gathering activity, the current and desired performance, the baseline survey, environmental scanning, the analysis of the stakeholder, the engagement, etc. And the gap analysis matrix that provide at with the end of the process, we have needs assessment and gap analysis report. And the same, in the same manner, the component 3 country detail is providing details and with the action plan as detail. The process is more detailed in this figure, starting from the forming the leadership, is really structuring the projects, establishing accountability, setting direction, creation of the action plan, tracking success, deriving value and outcome achieved. These are important consideration about the country action plans. And during the course, we will have case study from Africa and elsewhere, see how these guidelines are implemented in concrete example in some countries. And we have here an example from Nigeria, West Africa, is documented, is from one presentation during one of the UNGGM Africa meetings. Nigeria is engaged in implementing NSDI. It means that there is some historic reason to look at the country. The objective is using the IGF to take into consideration the level of the implementation and the challenge that Nigeria has faced in implementing NSDI, and to introduce necessary change for coordination, collaboration, coherence across different ministries, departments, agencies of the government. The aim is strengthening Nigeria National Geospatial Information Management and the inclusion of same in Nigeria national plans and strategies. And if you see that here, we are really looking beyond NSDI, because we want this NSDI to serve as a mechanism for cooperation to achieve national plans and strategies. The Nigeria Action Plan, 8 elements, briefly: review of the NSDI, identification of the stakeholder, the buy-in from the stakeholder through seminar, meeting, workshops, synthesizing the outcome to prepare working document for the implementation of IGF, the implementation of IGF itself, to look at the policy and the legal, the financial application, and to have guidance on project management. We have another example, detailed example, is the case of Guyana, and we will provide reference to documents on this study case. Another study case is a very interesting one. It's about India. India has a national geospatial policy since 2016. Geospatial strategy for the new India, 2020, and during 2021, during this year, guidelines for acquiring and producing geospatial data and geospatial data services, including maps. And the situation with India is interesting because before it was prohibited to produce maps without authorization, national authorization in India, which is a criminal activity. The new guidelines have for objective to open the market, but to develop a national industry and to take into consideration national security consideration within geospatial information systems and strategies. This case is also very interesting. The figure is depicting the relation between NSDI India, the Innovation and R&D Organization, the Training Institution, and the Organization for Data Acquisition and Infrastructure. And in the center, the important elements are the national priorities, SDGs, national development. Is really the motto and the core of the process. We will have also a look at UK geospatial strategy, just to see that the outcome at national level can be strategy, can be an SDI to improve or to develop, or can be concentrating on one aspect of the strategic pathway that we have described. Europe is an interesting case because they have INSPIRE, is the European SDI. The country has the obligation to follow and to be involved in this mechanism of sharing information, INSPIRE. And we have some lessons learned from one recent workshop organized by OGC on modernizing the SDA. And the important conclusion of this workshop is really INSPIRE has helped putting in place commonality versus silos, and the need to have a core conceptual model, noting that Europe has a strategy for data, 2020, and a Data Governance Act, 2020. All these elements are put together to give advantage to the European country in this location services. And we will have even a case study on the European location services and how it has been designed, how it's worked. And this is the end of this presentation of the module. And thank you very much.